Hey, what up everybody? It's Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War on PS4. And today I want to show you my top 5 dragons in Gems of War. This is just my opinion, and I'm only basing it on the dragons that are the most useful to me, that I use the most. And it might be different for you if you're a lower level or a super high level, but these are the top 5 dragons to me. And like usual, you know, the number 5 on the list could be replaced by a bunch of different dragons depending on how you use them and who you are and what you think. And it's not like a definitive list, it's just my top 5 dragons in Gems of War right now for me that I find the most useful in the game. Alright, so let's start with number 5. Number 5 for me is Elementa. Elementa's a good dragon you can use on a purple team on Guild Wars. You could do a nice purple team on Purple Day with this dragon. It deals 29 damage to all enemies, create 8 purple gems, boosted by burning enemies. Obviously Dragon's Claw. It's a mythical troop though. The traits are Magic Heart, gain 1 life for each purple ally, so obviously you're gonna have a bunch of purple allies. Impervious, immune to all status effects, Devour and Mana Burn, and Darkness, and decrease all enemies attack by 4 on 4 or 5 gem matches. And the main reason you're using it is for this create 8 purple gems boosted by burning enemies. You pair them with Infernus, who burns all enemies on 4 or 5 gem matches, and you'll have a pretty good loop going with purple. And then you got Umberwolf here is going to create a dark storm at the start of every turn, and Hellcat's going to be making a bunch of red here for all these 3 troops right here. So a decent purple Guild Wars team, not the best, but it'll do sometimes. It's one of the top 3 to 5 purple Guild War Day teams, and I still kind of use it here and there, so that's why it's number 5. It's kind of getting phased out. I need something else. I need something new. I didn't do the best in the last Guild Wars, so, but I still use it, so I wanted to make it my number 5 dragon on the top 5 dragons list. So we'll show this team real quick. What you want to do is just get Hellcat up, which will get Elementa up. You'll make a 4 match. That way you burn the other team, and that way you'll do more purple with Elementa. So we really want to get up Hellcat here if we can, but we don't have anything, so we'll just start getting Elementa going. So purple, well, here's extra turn. So you want to grab, you don't want to grab a lot of purple because you're going to be trying to get a loop with purple, but if you have to in the beginning of the match, you might as well, just to get Hellcat going. Just need a little bit more yellow or purple here. Don't got it. There's some purple up there. That way we get Hellcat up. And then hopefully we can find a nice red alignment, which I do not see. Oh, there we go. We got blue. So we'll do blue. Get our alignment. Now we have Elementa up. 2 of the enemies are burning, so that'll make more purple. We got 9 purple on the board. We'll go ahead and cast it. It's not an infinite loop, but it does get going pretty good once you cast it a few times. Take this yellow. Got a bunch of red. That's awesome. You want to try not to take purple if you can avoid it, but we're gonna go ahead and do it here. Just get Hellcat. Hopefully we got red alignment again. Of course we don't. Just do these skulls. Kill their first troop. Got a bunch of web on us. That's great. I still do not see. Oh, there we go. We got brown, so we'll do that. Won't do damage, but we'll get our Elementa up. We got a yellow extra turn right here. Do some skulls. There's a whole bunch of purple right there, so let's do Elementa. 15 on the board. Somehow missed, but we've almost got the matchup won. Let's see here. We got Hellcat again. Try to get us some red alignment. Wow, this matchup is just awesome. We got yellow, so let's do that. Got Elementa again, but we'll take this extra turn first. Could do skulls, but we got 13, let's hopefully we get an extra turn this time. We didn't, but we finished them off. You can see how that would work. That wasn't the best team to go up against. They weren't all burning. I guess some of them had immune to burning. So it didn't spawn as much purple whenever we cast. So we couldn't get that loop going. But it is a good team that works. Whenever you can burn the whole other team, you'll do a whole lot of purple whenever you cast Elementa, and it gets going after about 2 casts. And you'll start looping, and it's a pretty good team. It's not awesome or anything, that's why it's number 5, but not bad. Now I want to do some honorable mentions real quick before we do the rest of the dragons. May give away a little bit of what we're going for, but let's go to troop types and dragons. Show all here. Let's sort them by base rarity, because I know what I want to show. And I just want to do a couple honorable mentions. We're not going to show a team or anything, but if you're lower level, these are pretty good dragons you could put in the top 5 for you. Say Dragonian Monk destroys gems in an X shape, barrier a random ally for every yellow gem destroyed, and it can start battles with 50% mana. I'm not sure why I don't have that. I need to get it, and I'm just gonna have to go make a yellow brown in the Soul Forge and get that. But you can start with 50% mana. And then you're gonna barrier a random ally for every yellow gem destroyed, so you only need to destroy 4 and you'll barrier your whole team. Pretty good dragon for you lower levels. Also, Dragonian Rogue's pretty good. Both of the Dragonian dragons are pretty good for lower level. Destroy gems in an X shape, deal 20 damage to the last enemy, boosted by purple gems destroyed. So pretty good for lower level, as a lower level dragon. Dragonette's not too bad either. Dragotar, also not too bad. Alright, let's go to our number 4 dragon in this top 5 dragons. It's one I use in Delves. So we'll go to, I don't know, Silver Necropolis here. I think I have it set up to do the last battle. And we have Sylvan Nomura. This is my number 4 out of the top 5 dragons. It explodes a column, deal 31 damage to all enemies. It's a legendary troop, Forest of Thorns. The traits are 25% chance to summon a Dragonette on death, pretty good. Gain 2 life on 4 or 5 gym matches, and entangle the first enemy on 4 or 5 gym matches. So every time you do a 4 or 5 gym match, you're going to gain 2 life and entangle the first enemy. And this is really useful for scalable content, like high level stuff, because you want that entangle on that first troop so you don't get a bunch of skull damage and like lose a battle just to a bunch of skull damage. You want to make sure you have that first enemy entangled. That's why I use it in this Delve team here. And a better replacement for Sylvan Nomura here is TPK, the Possessed King, but Sylvan Nomura is a little bit cheaper, legendary instead of mythic, and also works. So that's my number 4 dragon. Let's show it in a battle. And I've shown this team before in some of my Delve videos. I got a 4 or 5 part series on Delves, and we've used this team before. It's pretty much based around Iron Gut. But the Sylvan Nomura definitely helps out whenever you can match 4 or 5. It'll entangle that first enemy so you don't get a bunch of skull damage dealt to you and your whole night ruined. Get this cockatrice. We can go ahead and entangle. So you got a double entangle with this team. Pretty good chance that you're going to have that first troop entangled between the Sylvan Nomura and the cockatrice. We need to get our Mount Crusher up, but it doesn't want to give us brown. Where's all the brown? There it is. Okay, Mountain Crusher is up. Let's cast that. As long as we don't have an extra turn. Don't see any. There, we got our Sylvan Nomura up. And on this team, Sylvan Nomura is not really used for doing its spell or its damage. The only time you would want to do that is if for some reason you can't devour the other team, or you lose Iron Gut somehow. You may have to tough out a battle by using Sylvan Nomura. Hopefully it doesn't get to that, but let's go ahead and cast it right now just for fun, since we're showcasing it right now. When you cast it, it's going to destroy a column and the 2 columns next to it. So you can either choose a spot where it'll destroy a bunch of colors you need, or hit a bunch of skulls for extra damage, stuff like that. But hopefully you don't need it in this team. What you want to do is cast Iron Gut. He devours based on his strength, so he has a 55% chance to devour right now. Let's go ahead and try to devour this first troop. We did. That's great. Now we pretty much have a 100% chance to devour next time. Grab some brown. We got Mountain Crusher. Cast that. Got Sylvan Nomura. They stole his mana, I guess. We could do Cockatrice. This will give us a bunch of brown. Create 6 brown based on the mana drained. Looks like a good time to do Mountain Crusher. Bam. Our Iron Gut has almost 100% chance to devour, so let's do that. Oops. I don't think that would have worked, because he's blessed. Alright, well, whatever. We'll get him next time. Let's do Cockatrice. I keep casting on that blessed, and I shouldn't be doing that. Let's do Sylvan Nomura just for fun. This isn't a very hard delve, so I don't have to be perfect on it. That's kind of why I chose it. Mountain Crusher. But this will do very high delves. You can go up to 300-400 with this team. You could probably go all the way. The Iron Gut, as long as you have the Iron Gut alive. And they're just staying blessed over there. Really annoying. So we'll just keep doing Sylvan Nomura for its video here. Boom, that's it for that. But yeah, I mostly just use it for the entangle and to be on this Iron Gut team to do delves. I mostly use the King Gobtruffle team now, but still use Sylvan Nomura occasionally for that entangle. And of course it's going to do this right now. Of course I'll lose my connection right in the middle of a video. That's great. But here's our rewards for that. You can run high level delves with that team. Sylvan Nomura is good just for that entangle. It's a brown, it's a green. You can use it in any delves that use brown or green. So there you go. Alright, now my number 3 dragon and my number 1 dragon are on the same team. So I'm going to skip to my number 2 dragon right now. We're going to go back to Crystara. Go to, let's see. Gotta find an explorer to do. Want to go to find a trait stone that I need to farm. This has nothing to do with really the dragon, but here's one. We can get our Dragonian monk up if we can get this trait stone. Go to explore. We're gonna put it on Warlord 1. And we're gonna go down to here, and here is my number 2 dragon, the Dragon Soul. One of the most useful dragons in the game for all tiers of the game. It's the best dragon for soul farming. It's on the best soul farming team with Ferris Ra. This is my soul farming team. Just had a video on it, you know, a week ago or so. I've done a few videos on the best soul farming team, and this is it. So that's why the Dragon Soul is the number 2 best dragon in my opinion, as far as usefulness to me. And this is the soul farming team. You just want to get Dragon Soul up and cast it as many times as you can until you get full souls. So we're looking for purple and red. There we go, we got them up. You want to put it on like Warlord 1 or 2, that way they don't all die in one casting. And you just cast it 3 times or so, and you get full 120 out of 120 souls. And you just do that over and over and over and over. So that is my number 2 best dragon in the game, in my opinion. So what do we got left? Number 1 and number 3. We're gonna head back to PvP. Just do some 1 trophy rank, that way it doesn't troll or meme me. And my number 1 dragon is Divinia. Divinia is a really useful troop used on a bunch of teams. It's a support troop. It explodes all red gems, cleanse all allies, and give them 21 life. It's a legendary troop, Dragon's Claw. The traits are allied dragons gain 2 life, mana shield, immunity to mana burn, mana drain, and mana steal, and dragon's blessing, cause a random positive status effect on a random ally on 4 or 5 gym matches. So you'll have a bunch of good positive status effects on like your whole team throughout the battle, including enchantments and barrier and blessed and all kinds of good stuff. So that's my number 1 dragon in the game, in my opinion, as far as usefulness to me. And my number 3 is the Worldbreaker. Really good mythical troop here. Dragon. Explode 18 gems on the board. Deal 26 damage to all enemies. The traits are immunity to devour, infernal armor, which is reflect 25% of skull damage, insane growth, gain 5 to a random skill on 4 or 5 gym matches. Really awesome with like Leprechaun and Mountain Crusher and stuff like that. It's, as long as you can get its mana, which is 30, pretty high, one of the highest in the game. It'll do a bunch of damage and explode a bunch of gems, which pretty much gives it a lot of its mana back to where it could do its thing again, explode a bunch, do a bunch of damage, get half its mana back, explode a bunch, do a bunch of damage. Explodes 18 gems. That's pretty much the whole board. Pretty fun troop to use, just kind of hard to get the 30 mana also. So that's why it's my number 3. It's not number 1 or 2. But you can use this on, like, I've used it before on yellow Guild Wars days. You can use them on red Guild War days. Divinia is used in a bunch of different teams. It's just one of the best support troops in the game. That's why I got it at number 1. But yeah, the Worldbreaker used on like pet teams and just when you're trying to kill stuff quickly, when you're not farming with like Leprechaun, Mountain Crusher, stuff like that. Divinia. But yeah, that's it. My number 1 is Divinia. My number 2 is the Dragon Soul. My number 3 is the Worldbreaker. My number 4 is Sylvan Nomura. And my number 5 is Elementa. So that's the top 5 dragons to me in the game. Let's go ahead and run this battle. Got a couple blue extra turns, of course, because we don't use blue, but we just did a 4 or 5 match, so you see we got Reflect as our random positive status effect. Do it again. Now we got everybody up. Looks like the first troop is now enraged because of the random positive status effect. Let's match another one. We got another random positive status effect down there on Infernus. So every time you do that, you're going to get another random positive status effect. Pretty awesome. Divinish Ball transform red gems to skulls and green gems to yellow. So let's see if we have alignment. We do right here, so let's cast that. Get some skull damage for free there, pretty much. Do that, kill the first troop. No more red, no yellow, no green, so we could do Infernus right now. Do a bunch of damage. Let's go ahead and use Divinia just for fun, because it's the... Oh, let's see, yeah, let's use Divinia real quick just to show her off. And explode a bunch of red. Also give everybody 21 life. And then let's do Worldbreaker to finish off the enemy here. Explodes the whole board, kills, does a bunch of damage, explodes a bunch of gems, gets a bunch of its own mana back pretty much. And that's that. Pretty good for like Guild Wars, quick teams. Divinia is used in a bunch of teams. Good support troop, one of the best in the game. And that's why those are my top 5 dragons. Number 1, Divinia, just all around good support troop, used in a bunch of teams, explodes red, gives life, gives random positive status effects on 4 or 5 gym matches. Second best, the Dragon Soul, best soul farming team in the game, prominently used in that team. Only a legendary troop, really good dragon to get early on in the game, can do a bunch of damage because its damage is really good in the early game. So if you happen to get the Dragon Soul early in the game, it's really good on PvP as well with the dragon team. Third best dragon, the Worldbreaker. Match it with like a Leprechaun, a Mountain Crusher, something like that. Get its mana up as quick as you can. It'll explode the whole freaking board, do a bunch of damage to everybody on the other team, and get half its mana back from that whole board explosion, and then do a bunch of damage to the other team again. Pretty awesome. Sylvan is my number 4 dragon. Just really good in delves. It's good for scalable content. It will entangle that first troop on 4 or 5 gym matches, and then it can do a little bit of damage for you as well. And then number 5, Elementa, just for a fun purple looping team. As long as you pair it with Infernus to where you're burning the entire other team, and the other team doesn't have immunity to burning, it'll spawn a bunch of purple and start looping. It's one of the better looping teams in the game once you get it going. Not the best, not infinite or anything, but just fun to use sometimes on like a purple Guild Wars day or something like that. Dragon teams, just if you happen to get it early in the game, pretty fun to use if you can get the purple loop going there. So yeah, that's my top 5 dragons. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, got something out of it. Once again, this is just in my opinion, based on the dragons that I use, you know, at least once a month, weekly, daily, stuff like that. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.